Bienvenue à Les Affaires Brassicoles, votre balado sur l'entrepreneuriat brassicole du Québec, avec Leonardo Calcagno de Baron Mac.
Bonjour tout le monde, ici Leonardo Calcagno de Les Affaires Brassicoles. J'espère que vous allez bien aujourd'hui. Le soleil est là, plein de choses qui se passent, puis on est bien content de tout ce qui se passe dans l'industrie. Comme vous savez, je ne sais pas, vous avez lu sur notre Baron Mac, l'Ontario vient de gagner une grosse victoire pour les microbrasseries. Vous irez lire ça en ligne. Et bien sûr, l'industrie est en train de bouger, plein de choses qui se passent. Puis une des raisons qu'on bouge beaucoup, puis on discute avec beaucoup de monde, c'est bien sûr la sans-alcool. Sans-alcool, après la pandémie, elle s'est développée très fort. Pas uniquement sur le côté des grosses brasseries comme la Batte ou Monson, tout ce monde-là. Mais beaucoup de microbrasseries que je connais, ils m'avouent entre deux bières, et souvent ça devient de plus en plus comme un 59% des ventes dans beaucoup de brasseries. Beaucoup de brasseries veulent se lancer là-dedans, que ce soit dans le co-packaging, tout ça. Puis aussi, qu'est-ce que vous allez voir dans le mondial, on a même une section sans alcool. Puis de plus en plus, les cocktails, les bières, tout ça, le vin et tout ça. So, bien sûr, c'est un marché qui n'a pas le volume encore de vente, mais il commence à grossir de plus en plus. Pour une raison que Baron Mac, ce qu'on va faire, nous autres, on va aller couvrir ceux qui sont en train de vraiment travailler pour développer le marché à travers le Canada, développer, à faire croître ce marché-là. Puis une des compagnies avec qui nous, on a vu tranquillement, on voit ça, c'est une compagnie de Hamilton qui s'appelle Free Bar. C'est une compagnie qui travaille sur la vente de produits sans alcool à travers le Canada, bien sûr, avec d'une façon différente. C'est-à-dire qu'ils ont des boîtes de découverte, des boîtes on appelle ça à découvrir un petit peu là-dessus. Ils ont aussi un nouveau système que j'adore beaucoup même, qui s'appelle, c'est un bar, c'est un peu de frigo qu'ils peuvent te mettre en place pour que le monde découvre les bières dans les dépanneurs de l'Ontario, dans les cafés, tout ça. On va parler aujourd'hui avec Daniel La Coute. C'est le fondateur qui, depuis 2 ans, ils ont mis ça ensemble. Ça commence à grossir. Le site est vraiment beau. Puis, bien sûr, une des raisons que vous voulez parler avec lui, c'est parler un peu de l'industrie qui s'en vient. Parler un petit peu aussi du côté, ils ont des produits francophones du monde du Québec, bien sûr. Puis, ils sont en train de voir comment ils vont développer ça alentour. Cet été, vous allez les voir un peu partout. Puis, bien sûr, on va parler avec eux autres sur tout ce qui s'en vient. Si vous avez des questions, leonardo@baronmac.com. Puis, bien sûr, ce podcast est commandité par Keg Management. Si vous avez besoin de canettes ou de canettes mobiles, Keg Management et Keg Management. Si vous avez besoin de Keg cet été, rappelez-vous, Keg, c'est important pour les festivals, puis les bars, tout ça. So, how are you, Dan? How are you?
Doing really well. Thanks
Daniel?
so much for having me today.
Thank you, man. Thank you for your time. I know you're very busy. I know you're like the summer just starting, and I'm getting tons of calls of people asking me, where's the non-alcoholic beer? I mean, that's the weirdest right now. When we started 10 years ago talking about beer, it was maybe 90% of beer. Now it's 40% beer, and the other one is non-alcoholic or RTDs and all the cola stuff like that. So I guess you're like for sure you saw the numbers. You said, I need to get into this market. So before we start talking about why did you get in the market, can you tell us about the company and where you guys from and what was the idea behind your company?
Yeah, so Free Bar's been around for just over 2 years. When we started this business, it was really just out of a necessity for myself. What I was trying to do was basically build out a discovery box program and try to find different non-alcoholic products. About 2.5 years ago, I got sober. I was working in the beer industry at a startup beer brand and absolutely fell in love with the industry. Fell in love with the people that were in it, and fell in love with craft beer. And I was one of those guys that was going to different breweries, going to different LCBOs, different bottle shops, and I love that idea of finding new cans and finding new products and that aspect of discoverability. When I got sober, I started to look around at the available options, and initially I was going to grocery stores and a couple of specialty boutiques. And was finding some okay products, but then started to go down the rabbit hole of finding different craft non-alcoholic products, and started to discover this world that was just absolutely amazing. And I started to wonder, why don't more people know about these different products? Why don't people know about these different breweries that are really pushing the boundaries in the non-alcoholic space? So what I decided to do was basically launch the Discovery Box, and it kind of took off like gangbusters. People
Nice.
started really, really loving the idea of this discoverability, finding products that they can't find in grocery stores, in mass grocery stores, and really looking for those new and interesting products that are pushing the boundaries. Since our inception, we've taken a little bit of a bit of a change. We expanded our offerings, and then just recently we wanted to focus in on that discoverability that was really at our core, just looking what our customers were really after, and it was all about finding those new and interesting products. So yeah, we offer the monthly beer boxes. We offer our own product, which is called breakfast beer, and then we also have the fridges and events, as you mentioned previously. So we'll get into that in a little bit.
Excellent, dude. And if you go to your site, there's a lot of things, man. I mean, because I remember a couple of years ago, maybe 5 years ago, when we started, people getting more into after the pandemic, no more non-alcoholic stuff like that. It was a crappy. There wasn't that much good beer going on like that.
Totally.
I remember in Quebec, man, we had like maybe 2 good non-alcoholic beer, and the other beer people tried to send it to me, and I was like disgusted. Man. Really, it was not well done. 5 years to now, it's changed a lot, man. I mean,
oh my God, like totally.
Just day and night, man.
Yeah, it's really been like, for me, it was so I quit drinking in the summer of 2022. And basically started, as I mentioned, just started with like, the Coronas, the Heinekens, and trying the macro beers. And they fit for the reason of what I was needing it for at the time. Then I actually took a trip out east. I know that a lot of your listeners and viewers are from the Maritimes, but I was lucky enough to try some Libra products.
Yeah.
And the Libra brand is absolutely amazing. The products that they're offering are fantastic. And that really was the light bulb moment for me, that craft beer can exist within the non-alcoholic space. And it really comes down to just finding those amazing products. So it started with one, and then it started with a couple of ones on the West Coast, then Ontario and Quebec, and now we're sourcing from coast to coast, trying to keep it as Canadian as we possibly can. There are some amazing breweries in Canada that are doing some great things. We really want to highlight our local scene here.
How many beers do you guys have right now? I mean, how many breweries or right now?
Yeah, so the number fluctuates. So right now, what we've been primarily focusing on is doing 2 to 3 new ones a month.
Okay.
But we've offered, I think at this point, we've tried and offered about 300 different non-alcoholic products in our lifetime. So it's kind of been a pretty cool experience just to find those different products and try to see what's working, what's not with our customers. And we're always on the hunt. Again, it's that whole idea of discoverability is for my customers as well, finding those new products, but it's also secretly for myself as well. I'm after that net new product that's going to really push the boundary, that's going to, whether it's a beer, a cocktail, or a wine, or even ciders for that matter. Just really trying to find those products that speak to me, speak to the curator at heart, and then being able to share that with my customers.
Yeah, because right now you guys are going into cocktails. Like I was talking in the beginning of the intro, cocktails, it's a huge market right now.
Oh,
I'm getting tons of people asking me, where to go after that market. And how's the sales? Because the idea is if 2 years, sales, the thing is with beer, man, anything you send across Canada, I know that is very expensive. How people do people are happy about how you guys do that? I mean, because people sometimes they want something, but like when you send something across Canada, it is heavy, and sometimes the pricing is low. Because I know we talked to a lot of brewers and across the Maritimes, Ontario, and Quebec, and the only thing stopping them is the shipping. That's pretty much. And how does it work with you? Is it something that people stop, before buying something, or people are like happy about this?
Yeah, good question. So we do offer Canada-wide shipping. So Ontario and Quebec, we have set rates for shipping. so the majority of our customers are actually coming from Ontario, Quebec, and the East Coast.
Yeah.
We do have quite a loyal following on the West Coast as well. It's an expensive product to ship because it is so heavy, as you mentioned, and there's so many factors that we need to keep in mind. Like at the end of the day, I'm packing up a box and I'm sending it from here to Vancouver, or I'm sending it from here to the Yukon, and that gets really expensive for us. But at the same time, it's something that like people are searching for these boxes, and they're trying to find those net new products. You know, there's some really great offerings in the grocery stores, but it's getting better than it was. But some of the products that they can't find in the grocery stores is what they're really after, and they're willing to pay for that. Going back to your question about the cocktails have been so interesting. They're having a moment right now. And definitely from all the trend reports that we're seeing, this is going to be the year of non-alcoholic ready to drink cocktails. Like people love that idea of just being able to, that ritual of cracking a can, pouring it into a glass, maybe enhancing it with some rimmer for a margarita, or tossing in some lime for a Moscow Mule. Just really enhancing it, making it their own, and having that convenience of being able to crack that can. Also, the products are just getting significantly better, and we see many of our customers, or many of our partners, I should say, that are trying different things, putting in non-alcoholic spirits in there to really make sure that it has the intensity, the mouthfeel, and really just making sure that it feels as close to the experience as an alcoholic drink, but for those that are choosing not to drink alcohol.
I feel that I've talked to a couple of media about this, and I feel that cocktails is going to overtake beer, and very soon. Yeah, I think there's a thing about beer, people getting fat, stuff like that, weight, stuff like that, and you know, like the health and stuff like that. And I think cocktails has like a different connotation. And I'm we're doing some consultation for a couple of brewers in Ontario and then the Maritimes, and cocktails is a big thing right now. It's like, how can we take out alcohol, some weird vodka, non-alcoholic stuff? And I know people are doing that, and people are more open to that. Like when you go to a restaurant, when you go to go to the beach, whatever. I know cocktail is like taking out on big moments right now. You see a lot of people doing alcohol cocktails with lemon. This is the big thing right now this summer.
Yeah.
Non-alcoholic things coming up. I know that I've talked to a lot of people, and I get a couple of samples at home. So that's great, and it's great. Yeah. And what do you see right now? Do you see more people into cocktails or into beer, or you have to do a mix of discovery and seasonal boxes?
Yeah, so I definitely have to. I for myself, I feel like I have to do both. We're definitely seeing more people that are gravitating towards beer, because beer is like just such a good entryway. It's like they understand that craft beer scene, they understand the flavors, the complexity that goes into it, and honestly, the process has just gotten so much better, and the offering has gotten so much better in the last couple of years. Like, you know, we mentioned before we got started about like the kickoff of all the different brasseries across the country that are doing some interesting things, and they're willing to play with it. And I think that people are more interested in different non-alcoholic beers. In terms of the cocktails, it's such an easy gateway, because people are understanding when they're like, okay, if I can try a beer and that tastes good, I can try a cocktail, and if that experience is replicatable, then as an alcoholic drink, then they're more willing to try. And so we see a lot of, like, this summer anyways, what we're seeing is like the classics. So the Palomas, the Moscow Mules, the spicy margaritas. The people are getting a little bit more, they're kind of going towards the more classic cocktails, but then we're seeing some more interesting cocktails come out too, that are really pushing the boundaries. And yeah, it's, but my preference is when people get the mix packs, and when I'm able to see some of my customers that have traditionally gone with beer and then are getting into the mix packs, I'm like, okay, we've hooked them, we've gotten them, and they're interested in trying different products now. And so and the cocktails are definitely going to have a moment in 2025.
How does breweries work with you guys? Because I know, I mean, you're the one who goes after it. That's what you were saying in the beginning.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sure more and more breweries are asking me, you know, if there's any companies like yours going on. So tell me, how does it work? How do people find you if you can't find them yet?
Yeah. Best way is to honestly contact me directly. So I am the taste tester, the curator, the box packer, literally everything right now. So we've got a small team that we're working with. But as we continue to grow, this is something that I want to still continue doing, is just trying new products and getting a hold of me directly. What we're really trying to do is like expand the offering to showcase those different brands, but then really try to tie it back. So one thing that we've changed in the last little bit is that is we do offer a lot of different products that are available on our website, but we're actually transitioning out of offering those and focusing in on just the discovery boxes, and then pushing people back to where they can find these products at the actual brasseries. So using it as like a promotional vehicle for the different breweries and brasseries all across the country. So if people are interested in being featured in a box and want to reach that loyal clientele that is after the non-alcoholics or after different non-alcoholic offerings, they can reach out directly to me either through our contact form on the website and on Instagram. I'm pretty active on both.
Dude, one of the things I saw you have the free beer non-alcoholic wine box.
Yeah.
It's a very hard business because sending
Yeah, let's
bottles,
talk
man,
about
it's a painful. Cans,
Yeah.
okay, but sending bottles, it's another game. How is
Man.
the wine thing going on? Because I know wine besides cans, it's very hard because, like I said, it's the expensive of sending bottles. So
Yeah.
are people getting more into wine non-alcoholic, or is still like a big push going on with that?
Big push on our side, because I get questions from people reaching out to me all the time. What is the best wine? And honestly, I get that question probably once a week. Hey, I'm looking for a different wine. And so what we wanted to do was create this box that featured some different Canadian brands and some of our favorites in there. There is the one that's from Germany, which I think is one of my favorites. It's the Leitz Pinot Noir. That one's been a really big seller for us in cans. You mentioned glass. Glass is really challenging to ship, and people are really struggling to find those products that are really like the distillation, or sorry, the vacuum distillation process is a challenge in the wine industry, and I think a lot of brands are struggling to really crack that code. There's some really great ones like Benjamin Bridge out on the East Coast that I think are doing fantastic things. They've got a couple of amazing ones, and I just tried their new Nouveau non-alcoholic. That is killer. It's so good. It's in a can, so it's really great to have a couple glasses, and then not need to actually crush an entire bottle or stick the bottle in your fridge. So that's been really convenient for us. But I'm doing a call out to your listeners and to your readers. If you're doing a great non-alcoholic wine, please contact me, because we really want to make sure that that wine is represented on our site and through our brand, and people are looking for it at the end of the day. So in terms of preferences, though, it's definitely beer, then cocktails, then wine, because I think people are just getting scared off right now from the wine industry.
Yeah, wine. I think non-alcoholic wine is very sugary, and that's why other people don't want to do that.
Totally.
It's very I call it like Jewish beer, Jewish wine. It's very sugary. I know a lot of people don't want to get into it. I know people are trying stuff like that, but I tasted a couple of them, and I know there's a lot of big investment right now to go there. So we'll see what happens with that.
Totally.
One of the things that I like about you is that there's a B2B strategy you guys have, is the free bar fridge. I've seen it a couple of co-ops doing stuff like that, but I think it's a great idea. And can you tell us about the free fridges, sorry, and what's next? Because I have a feeling this thing right now you were doing right now with the bar fridges, it's a great way to get into different markets for different people that have no time to do that. I mean, there's a lot of people saying they want to sell wine, they don't have time to have that. I think that's a great model, just to look, man, I'm gonna pitch you that. I take care of this. It's a renting, blah blah blah. So how does it work, and how do people can get one like that?
Yeah. So great question. So the way it worked, what we try to do is we try to focus on different companies that have like-minded customers. So somebody that's already going to be shopping. When it came down to it for us for last year, it came down to, do we want to get a space and have a retail presence, or do we want to be able to connect with individuals that are already shopping, that are going to different retailers, and who are interested in different non-alcoholic offerings, or into the whole wellness scene. So what we did first is we partnered with one of our key partners, Bodega, and I really want to give those ladies a shout out. They took a chance on us first, and this has been a really great partnership for them. And the way that it works is basically we provide the fridge. We stock the fridge on a monthly basis. They buy the product that is sold, and then we come back and we stock new offerings. We try different things, and it's a great way for people to actually go and feel the can. So it kind of all ties back to that original idea that I had, where I was trying to create this discoverability, and we were doing it in an e-commerce space. But what I kept hearing from people is, I want to see the can. I want to feel the can. I want to, I like, anytime that you're going to a premium bottle shop at the end of the day, it's like, it's such an exciting thing to be able to go and to try the different things, check out the labels, see what you're interested in. And especially in the non-alcoholic space, where we have to put our nutritional information on the labels, that's a really great opportunity for people to do comparisons between a couple different products. So what we see is that people go in, they either build a 6-pack, a 12-pack, and then they find that location that works for them, and then continually come back. So our repeat customers happen time and time again. In terms of launching this program and building out this program, we've gotten a couple different partners here in the Hamilton area, Hamilton, Burlington. We are looking to do expansion for this program, because it is something that we're hearing from people, that yes, they want to go to a bottle shop, but they also want that convenience of being able to shop in where they already are. And so this is bringing the products directly to them and making sure that it fits with their lifestyle.
But the brand recognition is amazing. What are you guys doing with that?
Thank you.
But also, I think there's a lot of people asking me, is like, where we want to do that, but we have no time. And I think you can bring something great to the thing, even across the provinces. Legally, how does it work? I mean, because shipping beer, because it's an alcoholic beer, it's different. But if you want to start doing a free bar fridges across Canada, let's say outside your province, how does it work legally for a store, stuff like that?
Yeah, so I think what the model that we've been taking with this one in particular is that we're trying to focus on the local scene as much as possible. So specifically focusing in on local brands that, so the Ontario market, if and when we're going to move to Quebec, and to the East Coast, we're going to try to source products that are available in the respective provinces. In terms of shipping products over, we do have that ability to ship, that we bypass a lot of the regulations that the alcoholic companies actually have to adhere to. So in terms of shipping inter-province, it's been, we've met some challenges, but it's a lot of an easier process. But in terms of sourcing those products, we really want to focus on creating that local experience. So you're going to your local, we'll say, bodega in Quebec, for instance, and you're able to find specific products that are available in Quebec, and then we would stock those fridges for them as we continue to build out and expand our team.
That's a great idea. B2B, are you getting more and more into data? Data. Sorry, I'm sure people are looking for that data. You're selling stuff that you need. You're selling non-alcoholic. You're talking to your customer, B2C customer. Are you gonna start more and more into the B2B strategy? People asking you when is the best way to sell beer? When is the best time to sell non-alcoholic beer? Stuff like that. The good thing about you're getting into that data that people need when they sell.
Totally.
A lot of brewers don't want to sell alcoholic beer right now. They're just doing a lot of co-packaging because they're afraid of what's going to happen. But because of the data you have almost of 2 years, are you guys going to get into becoming consultant for brewers to launch their stuff? Or right now, you only want to sell beer, non-alcoholic beer right now?
No, that's a great question, and that's something that we're actively trying to get into. So what we're noticing more and more is that because of our expertise and the focus that we've decided to take, what we're really doing is like connecting with customers directly and really understanding what their preferences are. With the new boxes that we just launched, there's actually different methods that we're going to be using to collect reviews and to make sure that people are not only speaking to us, but that we can actually relay the information back to the partners that we're working with. So people love I'm going to give an example here. Wild Folk Bees Knees. It's a product that we're showcasing in our boxes. And fantastic product. But what we want to be able to do is to go back to Wild Folk and say, hey, people are loving the bee's knees. We need to put a little bit more emphasis on it. This is what we're hearing from them. These are the types of meals that we're recommending for them, and to expand that offering. In terms of the consulting with breweries to launch their products, that's definitely something that we want to get into in terms of like, when is the most ideal time? And what we can do is actually pull from our own experiences. So because we launched our own product with our partners here in Ontario, Reinhard Brewing, which is located in Toronto, what we wanted to do is basically take a macro approach to the craft beer scene. So really looking at the trend reports, looking at different flavors, doing testings to see what recipes we like in the non-alcoholic space, and try to apply that methodology to creating our own product. And the goal down the line is to offer consulting services to different breweries and to different producers that are looking to jump in, but want to take this more methodical approach to launching their product. In terms of timing, I'll give like a little sneak peek. What we're seeing right now is the down months for the alcoholic industry. The winter time, especially in January, we see a huge spike, and this has been the last couple of years. It started in 2023, really, when the timing kind of worked out well on our side, but it also happened in the industry where people started to take notice, and then the Health Canada recommendations around alcohol consumption came out, and that was around dry January. So what we started to see was people, switching from their alcoholic drink to water, getting bored after a week, and then loading up on our products. And then what we're seeing for this year in 2025, as things start to evolve and change, is that people are extending that non-alcoholic consumption into February, and then in March, it's kind of a slow time for all beverages, as people are just sick of being inside. Canadian winters are long, and then we see a huge resurgence in April, May, which is really exciting as well. So we're about to kick off, we've already kicked off our busy season, and we're really starting to see the numbers reflect that. But what is the most interesting is the overall consumer that we are seeing. The most interesting part about it for me was that I thought when I started this that it was going to be people like me, people who are getting sober, people who are searching for this. And now we see a lot more sober, curious people who are interested in mixing in a non-alcoholic beverage into their night. So we call them zebra stripers. So basically, what they're doing is they're having an alcoholic beverage, and then they're having a non-alcoholic beverage, and then an alcoholic beverage and a non-alcoholic beverage, just to lengthen the evening, and make sure that they are not sacrificing that quality or taste, but that they're still able to enjoy some alcoholic drinks, but then make the night longer by mixing in some non-alcs as well.
It's a great market, man.
Yeah,
it's a great changing market, the beverage market.
Yeah.
Well, Daniel, thank you very much for your time, and I hope to see you soon. I know we're going to see maybe each other at the OCBC in November, I think.
Yes.
This is where we're going to be there, and I guess you have a booth. You're going to do your non-alcoholic night, something like that. You gonna do something with the guys from Collective Art in Hamilton?
We're still in the planning phases, but as soon as we know, we will let you know so that you can let other people, all your listeners and readers know, so that they can come try some really great non-alcoholic products.
Yeah, because we're gonna be there again. I think it's gonna be our 5th time for OCBC, so we're gonna be there covering the event also, and hopefully Hamilton will get better.
Yeah, man, definitely.
Hamilton is a hard place to love, man.
It's
a nice place,
it's a work in progress.
It is a work in progress. Well,
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Daniel. Hope to see you soon. Keep us updated with everything that's happening right now. I would like to see you maybe maybe this summer or winter to talk about the B2B section, because I know I've been getting a lot of emails about from restaurants and the fridge and stuff like that. That's something people want to have near them, because an alcoholic is not easier, but it's or to buy stuff like that. And like I said, there's a lot of people they can't do that because they have no time, and you providing that time, I think it's amazing.
Totally. It's honestly, it's been a great experience for us. It's people who are interested in offering but may not necessarily have that time or space or expertise, and that's really where we can come in and we can help craft that experience for their customers and really create some great partnerships out of it. So
all right. Well, thank you very much, Daniel, and I'll have a great summer, man.
Thanks, Ben. You too. Okay. Chat soon.
Ciao. Merci tout le monde d'avoir écouté les Affaires Brassicoles. Si vous avez des questions, leonardo@baronmac.com. Et bien sûr, nous autres, on va couvrir de plus en plus tout ce qui est cocktail, bière, vin sans alcool. Comme on parlait avec Daniel, ça commence de plus en plus à grossir, ce marché-là. Puis bien sûr, il y a des offres intéressantes, tout ça. Rappelez-vous, si vous avez du data, on a besoin de data là. Ça vous intéresse beaucoup là-dessus. Et si vous avez des questions concernant le sans-alcool ou lancer un nouveau produit, vous avez mon courriel. On va laisser bien sûr le site web de Daniel sur notre site si vous avez des questions aussi. Si vous êtes un brasseur, comme on parlait dans l'entrevue, et vous voulez que vos produits sortent dans la scène de Free Bar, on va laisser quand même aussi l'info en arrière de ça. So, merci beaucoup et à la prochaine à tout le monde. Puis écoute, l'été commence.